he came to Kamar-Taj, broken in every sense of the word. A man once worshipped for his steady hands, now trembling. A world-class surgeon, reduced to nothing but doubt, pain, and desperation. Stephen Strange didn't believe in magic. He believed in facts, equations, biology. "There's always a logical reason," he once said. "Everything can be explained if you're smart enough." But no matter how smart he was, nothing could fix his hands. Nothing in science could give him back what he'd lost. That's what led him here, to a mysterious temple on the other side of the world, hoping for healing, expecting miracles. What he got was confusion. "This is nonsense," he muttered, watching someone bend space with their fingers. "This isn't real." The Ancient One smiled. She didn't argue. She simply showed him. One touch to his forehead, and his entire world unraveled. Suddenly, reality was no longer solid. It was flexible, fluid, fragile, and for the first time in his life, Stephen Strange had no explanation. What he found here was something else. The Ancient One welcomed him, but she didn't coddle him. She opened the door, but refused to drag him through it. And when he saw others around him, students with no fancy degrees, no trophies, bending reality with a flick of the wrist, Strange realized this world didn't care who he used to be. He was the worst in the room, couldn't summon a spark, couldn't open a portal. Day after day, he failed. Again and again, Mordo watched in silence. Wang ignored him. The other students advanced while he stood still, until one day they threw him into the cold. Literally, the Ancient One pushed him through a portal to the top of Mount Everest alone. Open a portal, or die here. That was the test. In that freezing wind, his breath shallow, hands shaking, something clicked. The rules he knew didn't apply here. Magic wasn't about control, it was about letting go. That moment didn't just awaken his powers, it shattered his ego. He returned, alive, changed. From then on, he trained harder. His mind sharpened. His hands learned new movements, not for surgery, but for shaping space itself. He studied late into the night, stealing books from Wang's library with a grin. Of course, he absorbed knowledge like oxygen, astral projection, time manipulation, sacred relics. What others took years to learn, he picked up in weeks, not because it was easy, but because he needed it. This was the only thing that gave him purpose again. And then came a different lesson. Not books, not meditation, but combat in the courtyard of Kamar-Taj. Under the Ancient One's watchful eye, strange-faced Mordo, he was no warrior. Every strike Mordo threw sent him crashing to the ground again. And again he stumbled. But each time he stood back up. The fight wasn't about winning. It was about breaking his pride, teaching him that skill alone meant nothing without humility. And as the duel ended bruised and breathless, something had changed in Stephen Strange. For the first time, he accepted that he was no longer the master of his own world. Here he was a student, and only by surrendering to that truth could he rise to something greater. That moment was everything, not because he had power yet, but because he finally understood how to earn it. Stephen Strange had taken his first step on the path of a sorcerer, and the universe had just started paying attention.